NBC's Pentagon correspondent Courtney Kube is the only American correspondent on the ground in Niger and joins us now from the country's capital, where she's been doing amazing reporting for the last week. Courtney, we're seeing Niger's president now for the first time since the attempted coup. What else do we know?
Yeah, that's right. And as you mentioned, he met with the president of Chad. Now, the president of Chad was actually dispatched here as a result of that emergency summit in Nigeria that you mentioned, Andrea. That was a meeting of the regional leaders here in West Africa to discuss the security situation and this attempted military coup in Niger. Now, the hope was they would come out of this meeting with some sort of a peaceful solution to move forward. But instead, as you mentioned, they had a pretty stark warning for the military coup leaders here, saying that if, in fact, they do not release President Bazoum in the next week, they could take military action. So then for the first time today, or the first time since last Wednesday, when he was taken into detention by his own security forces, we saw him on camera with the president of Chad. Now, he also then went on to meet with the military junta leaders, the military coup leaders. So the question is the president of Chad, as this emissary for this region, able to somehow broker some sort of a peace deal that will end this political turmoil? That's what we're all watching and waiting to hear about here, Andrea.
The Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, has called for the immediate release of Niger's president. He was speaking Saturday in Australia.
Our economic and security partnership with Niger, which is significant, hundreds of millions of dollars, depends on the continuation of the democratic governance and constitutional order that has been disrupted by the actions in the last few days. So that assistance, that support, is in clear jeopardy as a result of these actions, which is another reason why they need to be immediately reversed.
So, Courtney, the warning that he gave is the same military and economic warning that the leader from Chad gave, that the other countries are not going to recognize these military people who have taken over. That's why they're calling it an attempted coup, because there's a U.S. law, as you well know, as you've been reporting, that says if there is no way that they can, if they recognize this as a coup, then they would have to take away that military aid. Right now, Courtney cannot continue to cover from there. So wait 1 second. She may be back. Hold on 1 second. This is just the internet. Okay. So internet issues, nothing to worry about. But Courtney Kube has been valiant there, as her team have, Moshe and Jonas with her. And we just want to say, our thanks to her for everything she's doing. And just to say, the backdrop here is a superpower struggle with Russia. Russia has made inroads through the Wagner Group with a lot of the surrounding countries in the region, but not with Niger. This was a democratically elected president with U.S. backing and backing from the region. And very much that Russia has an interest in trying to get their hands on Niger and on its valuable uranium.